Yeah, Lou Pinnela was definitely one of my favorite managers that I ever played for. I mean, it's kind of sad to see him retiring at this time. I would have loved to continue to see him manage, and I understand the reasons why. His mom is not doing too well, and he wants to just be there with her, and that's definitely commendable on his part. But he was definitely one of my favorite managers to play for. He was a fun guy to play for. I mean, a lot of people see all of the actions that he does out there, throwing the bases and the tantrums he throws, where he's kicking the hats and getting all in the umpire's face. But as a player's manager, he was definitely beloved by his players. He was the type of guy. If you were a hitter, an offensive guy, you really loved Lou, because Lou was a hitter as a player. He was a great hitter, great clutch hitter, and he could always get us going if we were in a slump or anything like that. And most of the teams that Lou manages, if you notice, are great hitting teams. And so what I loved about Lou was that he was always for the hitters. He was out there. He knew how to get the offense rolling, and I was a banger myself, so I used to like to listen to Lou and get advice from him. But if you were a pitcher, pitchers didn't really care for Lou too much. I mean, all of his players loved him, but Lou banged on the pitchers a lot. I mean, if they were guys, that one thing he hated was when pitchers just kind of nitpicked and they just kind of try to hit the corners and things like that. He would always be yelling from the dugout, throw a strike or go right after the guy or challenge somebody. He was that type of guy. But he was definitely one of the managers that I loved. He was a fun guy to play for. He was fiery. And one of the things that I really loved about Lou is that you see a lot of managers, like I love Joe Torre, but I think he's like too low key for the Dodgers. One thing you knew about Lou was Lou wanted to win, and Lou would go to the all the way to the end to back his players, and it showed on the field. It showed on the field how much he cared about it, how much he cared for his players, how much he cared to win. And I mean, a lot of people see the end result of all of the antics that he does on the field, but in reality, in that clubhouse, those guys knew that he cared for them and that he wanted to win, and that rubbed off on the players. And so that was one of the main things that I loved about him, was that he really cared for the game, he cared to win, he really wanted to win, and he cared for his players.